Hi everyone, and welcome to this new Train the Trainer workshop about how to successfully deliver the Explore and Analyze Data with R hands-on workshop. I'm Carlotta Castelluccio, Cloud Advocate at Microsoft, focused on data science and data analytics. The Explore and Analyze Data with R workshop is designed to provide the learner with the main concept of exploratory data analysis for a data scientist, and to deal with the main complexities of real-world data. The goal of the workshop is also to guide the learner through an example of data analysis and pre-processing of real-world data in a way that they can apply these skills to different problems and datasets. We have chosen the R language to explore these topics, since nowadays it is one of the most popular programming languages for data scientists, thanks to its intuitive syntax and the extensive set of functionalities provided for performing statistical modeling, machine learning, and data visualization. That being said, today we are not going into the details of this content, because our learning objective is to provide you with all the skills and assets to deliver this workshop on your own, hopefully giving you some good tips. However, remember that everyone has their own style of presentation, and I encourage you to give a boost to your creativity and personalize your presentation, your decks and so on, with your own unique style. First thing first, let's start by showing you the material you will need to deliver the workshop. You can find all you need in the workshop library repository at github.com/microsoft/workshop-library by navigating under the full folder, which stores all the workshops with an expected duration greater than 60 minutes, and then picking the folder dedicated to this workshop, named Explore and Analyze Data with R. As you may see, this folder contains a README file describing the main contents and learning objectives of the workshops, as well as the technical prerequisites you need to go through it. In particular, regarding the prerequisites, they are linked to the setting up of a developer container we have prepared for you to running and writing code in R without spending time in installing required packages and tools. As I'm going to show you, this workshop contains an R notebook with a set of exercises to practice with exploratory data analysis and data visualization in R. So you will need to set up this environment to open and run the notebook. You have three options. Two options enable you to run the notebook on the cloud, while the third option lets you run the workshop notebook locally. So for running the notebook in the cloud, you can either use GitHub Codespaces or Binder. In both cases, you can open the notebook in a few clicks. For opening a new code space, starting from this repo, you should expand the code drop-down you see on the repo main page and select the Open with Codespaces option. While to open the R notebook in Binder, you just need to click to the following link. On the other hand, if you want to open and run your notebook locally in the dev container, you need to follow a few steps that are listed in details in this section, and there are a few prerequisites required for your machine to be ready that you can see in the what you'll need section of this README file. So in particular, you will need Visual Studio Code, Docker Desktop, Visual Studio Code Remote Developer Extensions, and of course Git to clone locally this repo. As you can see, every of these prerequisites is a link pointing to the web page where you can retrieve and install what you need. So what else you have in this folder? You have the PowerPoint deck, of course, dealing with the theoretical concepts behind this hands-on workshop. We will come back to this in a few. We also have a solution folder containing the R notebook we just mentioned, as well as a test folder So this is the R notebook, and this is the test folder containing a few R scripts designed to evaluate the answers of the learner going through the workshop. But let's go step by step. So first of all, let's open the workshop deck. So the very first slide of the deck is designed for the speaker or speakers, if more than one, to welcome their attendees and briefly introduce themselves. If you're going to co-present with another speaker, I really encourage you to open your session with a small amount of crosstalk to start capturing the interest of your audience and create an enthusiastic atmosphere. So right after that, we have the learning objective slide, where you should be able to clarify the main concept you are going to deal with during your workshop. The decks are split in different sections. The first section is, of course, the introduction. This slide lets you introduce the importance of the exploratory data analysis for the data scientist role, as well as mentioning some of the tools and capabilities provided by R. The second section is about exploratory data analysis itself and data visualization. In particular, as regards data visualization, you have a good example of how graphing data can make easier the data scientist's work, and in particular, the extraction of useful insights from data. You can further deep into the notes of this slide if you are interested in explaining data visualization leveraging on this example. This section also includes a pair of slides about the main R packages that will be used during the hands-on workshop, which are ggplot2 and deeplyr. And they will be used later to perform exploratory data analysis and to transform the data in the right form that you need to use it effectively. In addition, there's another section dealing with the main characteristics of real-world data and the point of attention on which the data scientist should focus on. The purpose of this slide is really to highlight the differences between data extracted from educational material and real-world data, and how we can face real-world data issues. The last part of this section is designed to introduce the real-world data set you are going to use during your hands-on workshop for data analysis and manipulation. In fact, this dataset includes data from the US Department of Transportation around flights information from year 2013. Again, here I really encourage you to stress the attention of your attendees on the fact that you are going to take this challenge together with them, and that it could be also a good opportunity to interact and have fun together. The next slide also summarizes the prerequisites they'll need to run the challenge notebook locally and provides the binder link that can be used to open the challenge on the cloud as a Jupyter notebook. Before moving on to the real workshop, going through the notebook itself, I would like also to say that I really suggest you to make this introductory part not too long, since there's a lot of content to cover and you will have the chance to explain things in more details going through the exercises part. In addition, I would like to say that you have been provided with a few more slides that you could use to make your presentation interactive and communicate with your audience and potentially with your co-speaker. It's a brief quiz of 3 questions that you can potentially propose right after the challenge part. As you may imagine, the very last part of this presentation is the summary that gives you the chance to wrap up what you covered during your session, stress out the main takeaways, and thanks your audience. So this is all about the decks. Again, remember that this is your workshop. I want you to have all the means to deliver it successfully, but do not hold back your creativity. On the contrary, if there's something you want to change in the decks, feel free to do it. Moving to the hands-on challenge, which is the core of the workshop, let me open the notebook in the Binder environment. To do so, remember that through the README file, you can go on the prerequisites section and then click on this link. So by clicking on this link, a Jupyter notebook is launched. The first code cells at the top of the notebook simply load all the R libraries we will need for the following exercises and the dataset we are going to explore. So let's run them. First one and second one. Great. So slicehead is a function that shows us the first 7 rows of this data frame, of this table. As mentioned before, the dataset used for this challenge is composed by flights data taken from US Transportation Department from year 2013. So it's real-world data. Since the data scientist role primarily involves exploring and analyzing the data, I suggest you to take your time to go through the different columns of the dataset, explaining the meaning of each value and in particular stressing out the properties that will be used more during the data exploration. So the challenge contains 11 questions. Each question contains a brief explanation and a piece of code that should be completed by filling the missing spaces with the right code. When the question code has been filled out, you can test your answer by using the following code cell. In fact, here, the library OTTR is used to check if the code above passes the test specified in the R script I showed you before in the test folder. So let's take the first question as an example. Question 1 states, starting with df-flights, which is our table, our dataset. Select columns depth delay and depth del 15, then filter to obtain rows where the value of depth del 15 is not available. So here, depth delay is the departure delay column of the dataset, while depth del 15 is a Boolean column that says us if the flight has been delayed or not of 15 minutes. So here we want to spot the missing values for columns depth del 15 and then assign the results to a variable named flights depth del. So in order to select the two columns, we can put the name of the columns here in the select function. So we have depth delay here and depth del 15 here. While then we need to filter the missing values for column depth del 15. So here we should put the column name depth del 15. Now that we have completed our piece of code, we can run this cell and check our answer. So here I can see that my answer was correct and also a brief explanation of why I successfully passed the first question test. But let's see how this and why this message is displayed here. This is because using the OTTR library, the logic behind this notebook is checking the correctness of the question using this script. So going back to the solution folder and then the test folder and opening the question R check test script, we can see that this type of check has been performed. So we are checking that the first column has no not available values, no missing values, while the second column has 2,761 not available values. So that's why I'm getting here a congratulations message. I will not go through every code cells since it's not in the scope of today's session. But if you're going to present this workshop, I encourage you to go through it more than once, maybe also identify the different possible answers for each question, and be prepared to explain the correct response. If you're going to present these with a co-presenter, you can leverage on the questions and answers patterns of this workshop in order to frequently interact with your co-presenter. The set of questions is designed to lead you from cleaning and preparing your data, filtering missing data, to perform data visualization by graphing the data in order to spot and remove outliers, and then to explore the data and analyze the output data to extract insightful information. If you need any help with this workshop and in preparing the delivery of the workshop, for example, if you need the solution of some of these questions, please feel free to reach out. So that's all for this Train the Trainer workshop about explore and analyze data with R. Remember that if you present something you are passionate about, you'll be always able to do a better talk, a better job, and to attract your audience. So if you are passionate about data science and R, go ahead and pick this workshop. Hope you have found this session useful, and I'm looking forward to see how you are going to use this material to deliver your workshop. Thank you.